Coming up on NewsCenter 6, a wicked winter storm rocks the area, dumping almost a foot of snow on some parts. We'll have live team coverage.
It's really snowing here in the...
I'm Ken Screven.
Be live in just a moment.
NewsCenter 6 has learned new and startling information about that body found on the bike path in Menands. We'll have a live report. Plus, Cohoes police say they've stopped a destructive vandalism spree. NewsCenter 6 is up next.
Now, live, the #1 news in the Capital Districts. Mary Beth Wenger, sports with Joe Tessitore, and weather with Kelly Boland. This is NewsCenter 6.
Blowing snow, whipping winds, and treacherous driving. The first major winter storm of the season hits hard across the area. Good evening. It's moved in under the cover of darkness, and all day snow has blanketed the entire area. What's next for us? Well, meteorologist Scott Stevens is live at the weather wall with the very latest. Scott?
Well, Mary Beth, it has certainly been a very predictable storm. It moved in on time, and amounts have been pretty much as expected. We saw the heavy storms and the heaviest amounts of snow through Montgomery, Fulton, Herkimer counties, right underneath this band where amounts have been between 12 and 18 inches. And you can see the overall trend is for a decrease in intensity. So we're expecting the storm to gradually wind down over the next couple of hours. But then we're not done with it, because the howling northwest winds move on in, and then the very generous snows that we have on the ground now will begin to blow around. Temperatures now not bad in the mid-20s. But by tomorrow morning, they'll be dropping through the teens with winds between 30 and 50 miles an hour. So we'll keep you abreast of the latest developments and some storm totals in a little bit. Mary Beth?
All right, thanks, Scott. As you know, Scott, our crews have been out in the thick of things, finding out how this storm is affecting all of you. Our team coverage begins with Ken Screven, who's live at our Albany News Center. Ken.
Well, Mary Beth, I don't think it's an overstatement to say you've got to be crazy to venture out there in the midst of the wind and snow tonight, and it has gotten worse hour by hour since this morning.
Snow has begun as expected. There's a lot more to come, folks. Anywhere from...
Folks, this is the way winter really is for the Northeast, remember? The warm winter was lulling us into a sense of the unreal. Forget visions of that. This is the reality. The wonderland that some people call winter has decided to finally make its presence here, and there's not much anybody can do about it. Capital District landmarks were almost obscured totally today by the fierce blowing snow and winds. If you had the nerve to venture out today, driving was hell, and digging your car out wasn't so hot either. Let's face it, this is winter.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm very serene when it snows. I love it. I've been waiting for it.
Well, anyway, he says he's from Florida. We found Jim perusing Albany's Lark Street today with a snow shovel ready, looking for some winter snowstorm cash.
The last time I did it last year with the big snowstorm, I made about $120 in a couple days, so you can make a few bucks. You can make a few bucks. Already in an hour, I've made 10 bucks, so.
And making bucks was on the mind of vendors at the annual Winter Home Show at the Nick Arena this weekend. But the first whopping winter storm of the '95 season sent attendance down the toilet.
It's very bad compared to the past 5 or 6 years.
But they were selling spas and home stuff anyway, including a $3,500 personal sauna for your home.
It gets right into your muscles and tendons and loosens them all up. It's great on a day like today. The best thing to do is sit in this for 5 or 10 minutes before you go out and shovel snow.
Well, of course, not everyone is that lucky. And if you want to escape from all of this and jump on an airplane, you're out of luck at the Albany airport. We're being told while the airport may be open, no planes are coming or going. So we're stuck, Mary Beth.
Unfortunately, Ken, no personal sauna for us.
No.
Ken, since it's been a mild winter, did people seem to be handling this with pretty good humor? Absolutely.
I think people just said, well, you know, it had to come eventually. I know that I was walking around here thinking it was not going to come, and I was really stunned this morning.
All right, thanks. Ken Screven reporting live from our Albany News Center. Well, the southern part of the Capital District took the early brunt of the storm. In fact, for a while, Route 22 in Columbia County was closed because of heavy snow and almost no visibility. Our correspondent Lance Wheeler joins us from the Hudson News Center with the very latest. Lance?
Mary Beth, right now unofficial snow estimates put anywhere between 8 and 12 inches of snow on the road. So far we've accounted for in Columbia County a total of 15 accidents. Volunteers are manning fire stations in case of emergencies, and the big concern right now are the heavy winds, that are going to be causing some drifts. Now, over in Greene County, the snowfall amounts are estimated anywhere upwards to a foot. Earlier on Route 23A, there was a number of bus accidents. Buses were backed up on Route 23, and in Leeds, one man died as a result of a heart attack after he shoveled a driveway. Back to you, MB.
All right, thanks, Lance Wheeler, reporting live from our Hudson News Center. Well, we had a crew battling the elements in the North Country all day as well. As you can see, the driving was horrible, but luckily most people heard the warnings and stayed off the roads. Police in Saratoga, Washington, and Warren counties say there were no major accidents. For some, it was time to dust off the shovels, but for others, it became a winter wonderland. A day to watch the snow, to take a walk, or maybe even to break out the cross-country skis and take a look at the scenery. Because of the storm, communities around the area have declared a snow emergency tonight. In Albany and Schenectady, cars must be parked on the even side of the street beginning at 8 this evening. In Cohoes, park only on the odd side of the street beginning at 8 tomorrow morning. In Green Island, Rotterdam, East Greenbush, Schodack, and the village of Castleton, there is no parking on any public streets. And police say tow trucks will be out in force to take away any cars that are parked illegally. But we're not the only ones getting clobbered by this big storm. Parts of New Jersey are under 16 inches of snow. Just outside of Philadelphia, 14 inches fell. Traveling is a nightmare to or from anywhere in the Northeast. Albany Airport and LaGuardia Airport in New York City are closed. New York's Kennedy Airport has only one runway open. Well, the snow is not the only thing we're going to have to deal with. Frigid temperatures and gusty winds are moving right in. That means dangerously low wind chills. Our Kelly Boland is out on the weather patio with more. Kelly?
Hi, Mary Beth. The winds are really picking up out here. We have a temperature of 27 degrees. The winds are blowing from the north at 22 miles per hour. That gives us a wind chill factor of -2, and this is only the beginning. It's only going to get worse tomorrow. The winds will be gusting as high as 50 miles per hour, giving us wind chill factors well below zero, perhaps as low as 30 degrees below zero. That's what it will feel like to the exposed skin, so the key is not to expose any part of your body to the cold and wind. It's easy to forget to cover up, especially when you're busy with outdoor chores like snow blowing or shoveling or chopping wood. So it's important to look for signs of frostbite, like tingling or burning sensations and numbness. When the numbness starts to go away, it can be very painful and dangerous. That according to Dr. Kevin Riley, Director of Emergency Room Operations at Albany Med.
And that's really the danger sign, is when the numbness goes away. That's when the skin starts to freeze. And that's the time that you have to immediately leave the cold weather and go in and warm up.
The best advice is really to avoid being out altogether, but if you must, make sure you dress in several layers of clothing. And of course, wear a coat or shell on the outside to help block the wind. Don't forget the hat. Like Mom always said, 80% of your body heat is released through your head. To protect yourself from hypothermia, drink warm fluids, preferably non-alcoholic, and take frequent breaks from the cold. Don't be out in it for any extended period of time, even if you think you feel okay. So be careful. It's been a mild winter so far, so it's easy for us to forget what it's really like and to take those very simple precautions. Mary Beth?
Yeah, Kelly, I can hear the microphone out there, so come on in and get warmed up.
I'm on my way in.
All right, Kelly Boland live from our weather patio. And coming up, we have some answers for you about that body found frozen in the ground next to the bike path in Menands. But first, suspected vandals are busted in Cohoes after costing residents thousands of dollars. NewsCenter 6 has learned that the body found Thursday next to the bike path in Menands was the victim of a killer. Diane Ward has that story live from our newsroom. Diane?
Mary Beth, we've talked to the Albany County coroner, and he says preliminary autopsy results have revealed that the woman was stabbed several times in the back by her killer. Authorities say the corpse was stuck to the ground when it was discovered by a woman walking her dog along the bike path. It's not known if the murder took place at the site or if her body was dumped there. Police have spent the day trying to match the victim's dental records to those of young women who've been reported missing in New York, Vermont, and Massachusetts. So far, investigators have not come up with any strong leads pointing to the woman's identity. She is described as 16 to 19 years old with dark reddish hair. She was wearing jeans and sneakers. State police have eliminated the possibility that the body was that of Marianne Powell of Half Moon or Pauline Dumpster of Amsterdam. Both women had been missing for a couple of months. Mary Beth?
Stranger burst into your home while you're sleeping. It happened to an 85-year-old woman early this morning in East Greenbush. The victim says she woke up after the man broke down her glass doors. The woman suffered a broken hip after being tossed to the floor by the robber. He got away with $100. Cohoes police say a vandalism spree is over, and tonight 2 teens are under arrest. 17-year-old Charles Sager of the Averill Park and 16-year-old Shane Waddell of Cohoes are accused of painting graffiti on houses and businesses in Cohoes. The damage estimates are in the thousands of dollars. Police Chief William Breslin says they did it just for kicks. Mayor Bob Signoracci called the teen vandals' graffiti acts of terrorism on his city.